All right. So, this is the 820-00165 board that I misspelled in the title from the last stream. This is the 820-00165 board that was completely nasty looking, full of blue, totally corroded, that we did as much work on as we can, and it was still quarter fan spinning. Now, at the very least, it's giving us V-core. It's not just quarter fan spinning, but it's giving us V-core. But it still looks like shit. And somebody asked if I would do an ultrasonic cleaning of it and show what it looked like before and after. The problem is I didn't leave the ultrasonic cleaner on, and it was actually really, it takes a long time to heat up, and I was very hungry, so I decided to leave. But I said that I would come back later and I would show you what it looks like before and after ultrasonic cleaning. So, this was after the cleaning with the flux. We used the flux and the hot air, and we also replaced a couple of components along the way. And we're just going to see how the ultrasonic does. Somebody says, since you sell these, show us that it actually works. Show us that you're not just selling us a jewelry cleaner or something. So we'll see. Let's see if the ultrasonic cleaner can fix this and make this board great again. So first thing I'm going to do, since this flux is... Usually I throw it in the cleaner while the flux is still hot, right after a job. But this flux is all cold and caked up since it's been about an hour or two since the prior stream. So what I'm going to do is heat up the flux just a little bit. A little bit of heat on the flux. And after that, we'll put it through the cleaner, and you'll get to see what it looks like. So, working? Yep. Alright, so we're just gonna make sure that the flux is warm, so when I put it into the cleaner, there's a chance of actually coming off. Of course, we got rid of that JTAG connector. We got no respect for the JTAG connector. We don't need no JTAG connector. Just gonna get rid of all that flux. Make sure the board's nice and warm so this flux has a chance of coming off in the cleaner. And we're going to put it back in the cleaner. Okay, so let's toss this in. And this is going to be fun because if this board doesn't work out of the cleaner, then, well, I look like a fucking idiot for telling people to buy this cleaner. With my luck, it won't, because I decided to put this in the title. Since I put in the title that this is going to be a board before and after the cleaner, it would only make sense that it not work when it come out of the cleaner. That would be my luck. I've had far too much good luck today. 3 boards that were backlight fuses, and 1 board that was nothing but a JTAG connector. I feel that my luck is soon to run out. Speaking of luck running out, I'm going to the dentist tomorrow for the first time since 2006. Let's see if not eating dessert, brushing my teeth and mouthwash after every meal has done me good. So, we're just going to ultrasonically clean this little board and pray that it comes out looking nice. If you listen to that nice noise of the ultrasonic cleaner. This is live ultrasonic at strength 9. What a nice noise, isn't it? And that comforting and soothing. Makes you just want to start an ASMR channel, doesn't it? Yeah, it takes a few minutes to clean. So what do we do while I'm waiting for it to clean? I guess I could just read Cancerous Life Chat. What solution do you use in an ultrasonic cleaner? I use distilled water and Branson EC. 100 milliliters of Branson EC to a gallon of distilled water. How's your cat doing? My kitty's doing well. Oh, we're waiting. I need a website, someone said. Yeah, so I guess I didn't think this through, because if this is a video, I could just make the video and fast forward through the boring part where I'm waiting for the cleaner, and then for the board to dry off. But since this is a live stream, yeah, it's going to be an awkward waste of 10 or 15 minutes. Alright, so it's about time to flip the board over. What could we show on screen that's interesting while waiting for this to finish? I guess I could put a Jessa board on. This is a Jessa MacBook Air repair. Ready? Is Jessa Jones in the building? That's a Jessa MacBook repair. Pro tip: when using the ultrasonic cleaner and caking the board out, if the Branson EC is steaming at 80 Celsius, do not inhale. Wait until you've walked away from the cleaner to start breathing again. Static on mic. Yes, that is an ultrasonic cleaner. This is a Jessa fix. What a cute little MacBook Air. Look, you can see right through it. Are you planning on doing more free PBX videos? I think I've covered all the bases. Customer brings a MacBook with dirt on the keyboard and the machine. Do you clean it or do you fix the board and return it? It depends on the person, honestly. Like if it's somebody it's one of those people that calls every single day, no. If it's somebody who lets us take our time, usually. It also depends on how nasty it is. I mean, we're a repair place, not a cleaning service. I'll happily clean it a little bit, but if it's like calling every day, then no. No. Yeah, look, I can hold my tweezers here. Okay, time to flip that board just one more time. I want to have it lie on its side. Yeah, I got the ultrasonic liquid on me. I'm going to turn into a monster. Yeah, if you get Branson EC on you, just wash it off as quickly as possible. I'm lucky I have my sink right next to where I put my ultrasonic. Don't get that liquid on you. That will hurt. That is not good for you. What did that poor board do to deserve that? It wasn't charging. It had a short circuit on the DCN MOSFET, and now it's... Yeah. And the wire, Jessa ran wires, and it was an amazing job, but unfortunately, it was stuck to the bottom of the case, so that the glue that was holding all that stuff together actually glued it to the bottom of the case. So when you opened it, it came off and did this. It was a fun repair. This was a fun one. This is a very fun one. What did that poor board do to deserve that? It's an Apple product, man. You can't liquid damage if there's nothing to damage. Exactly. Well, the liquid dissolve fabric. That's a good question. I've never tried. Alright, so the board's gone through the cleaner. Now, I did preheat the oven up so that I can try and dry this thing off quickly because I don't want to waste too much time. So I'm going to put it through the alcohol now. So I've ultrasonic each side of this board already. Gonna alcohol it. Goes into a nice Tupperware container. Swoosh the alcohol back and forth. Dry it with some nice compressed air, and then into the oven to get everything out from under the CPU. So. ASMR time. What a beautiful noise. Okay, and into the oven for some final drying. So we're literally watching a board dry right now. This has got to be the most boring stream on YouTube. There's a board in the oven, and we're just sitting here and watching it dry. Yeah, let's see if I move the camera a little bit if you can see it. We're going to do this. All right. And we're just going to wait for it to dry. Came here for something, but I always forget why. Story of my life. So there's a board in there. You can hear the oven go tick-tock, tick-tock, tick-tock. That was an air compressor. I used the air compressor to clean the alcohol off of the board. Any Branson EC alternatives for Europe? I wish I had one for you. I really do. I have no idea. How often will the Sonic fix a water damaged board without doing anything else? Everybody here jokes, but there is a little bit of truth to it that the Ultrasonic fixes more than I do. The thing is, we used to outsource board repair a long, long time ago, and we used to obviously the reason we Ultrasonic first before outsourcing is to see if it could be fixed without paying and outsourcing. And a surprising amount of the time, the Ultrasonic would just do the trick. Are those gloves inflammable? I don't know. You read the label and tell me. I was thinking of getting into selling the liquid, but the thing is, it's so much crap that you have to deal with when shipping hazardous materials that it's just not worth it. Alright, so we're just waiting for this to dry. We're waiting for it to dry. What to do? What does an RT80205AGQW chip? I think my laptop does not start because of it. It has one and it gets very hot. I don't know. Let's see. What does that do? Mm-hmm. High efficiency main power supply controller for notebook computers. Well, there you go. It's a power chip. And it gets really hot, you say. Well, I think you know what to do from there. Find the short. Is the short the circuit the chip itself? Is the short circuit something else? But you said you hate when people clean the board before you get it, and now you just told us that you did the same thing to others. Illuminati confirmed. Yep, I sure did. I had no idea back then. That's the journey to becoming a grown-up. Dude, I didn't know an N channel from a hole in the wall back then. I was a complete idiot. Did you ever fix the digging a hole for Jason board? No. I have an ultrasonic cleaner I use for cleaning watch parts when I was in the repair business. I do a lot of laptop repairs. Can the cleaner be used to clean fans? It's a good question. I've never tried that before, but I have no idea. Won't Amazon send Branson to the EU? I'm not sure. If they did, they would absolutely rape you on shipping, I imagine. Do as I say, not as I do. At this point, I would not outsource something after cleaning it, because now I know that it's a dick thing to do. Like, it wasn't until I started doing this that I realized that what I was doing was a dick thing to do. But now that I do this, now I realize that it's a dick thing to do. So I don't. Okay, I think we're pretty dry by now. Where's Sharky? Sharky! Sharky! Crap, where's Sharky? Oh no. Sharky's gone. Maybe Jason has him. I've never tried to ultrasonic a fan before. I'll try it next time. When somebody waits outside until 11 o'clock and says, I love your videos, I want you to loan me money, I'll just say, come on in here. Come into my office, put your hand in this. But it says 80 Celsius, just put your hand in it. Ah! That's a good idea. I will do that. I will ultrasonic a fan and I'll let you know how it goes. I'm sure it'll be great. Alright, I think it's time to get that thing out of there now. I do have to cool it off before I try to turn it on. I mean, yeah. Hey, tripod. You piece of... Good tripod. Good little $12 Amazon tripod. Okay, so we're going to clean off the board in this... cool off the board in this air filter now that it's dry. And let's see if the quarter fan spin is gone. Let's see what it's got. Yeah, it'll be ready to plug in a minute or so. Is that not a sexy board or what? This is Jess's pride and joy. Her best work right here. I was really impressed when I saw what she did to this. It did work. It's just, it was stuck to the top lid of the machine. It was stuck to the lid, so when we took the lid off, it ripped off the entire transistor. Show us your cock. There's my cock. Alright, this should be cool off now. Alright, so this is the board that we started the stream with. This is the one that had all the corrosion all the way across it before. Let's take a look at it now. Remember that little schmutz by the Thunderbolt area? LCD connector area. New fuse, new resistor, new LCD connector. Okay. A little bit of flux got left behind here. Sometimes I use so much flux that nothing's getting rid of it. A little bit of scraping. SMC area. Remember we reflowed this. I replaced this thing and you. This is the clock chip that I took off of a beautiful donor board. This is one of the this is the BIOS resistor that was replaced. I mean, you can technically tell. There's like that little shit over there, but with the amount of flux that I use, it got rid of quite a bit, I think. Every now and then I use a little bit more flux than may actually be necessary. Yeah, Crest handled it like a champ. So this is it. So for the person who asked, what does the board look like before and after cleaning? Okay, so now we have to see if this shit actually works. Because let's face it, this whole thing is a whole fucking waste of time if it doesn't actually work. So we're gonna put a DC in board, put a fan. Now remember, I was getting V-core before. It wasn't just turning on and turning off at no V-core, because that's a little bit more hopeless. This was getting CPU V-core for a couple of seconds and then turning off. So it could be a BIOS issue, or it could have been hidden corrosion somewhere. If it's... Okay, so let's see. What do you do? The fan spins. And stops. Wait, it's consistently spinning. It's not stopping spinning. Well, it's continuing. Okay, so now we gotta plug in a screen. So the fan is continuing to spin. Before it was spinning and then turning off immediately. Okay, so now I gotta find a working screen because the screen that came with this machine was, yeah, that's not something I'm plugging back in. Okay. Here we go, let's try this one. This has a good screen. Nothing else on this works, but it has a good screen. Alright, so we're going to try on this one. This LCD cable doesn't look great, so I do have to give it a little test first. Why is it called quarter fan spin? Because the fan spins only a quarter of the way around and never finishes its spinning. So the first thing I'm going to do before I do anything else is make sure that this new screen is not shorted to ground. Because if it was, that would suck. Now will blow all the wonderful work that we've done. So, it is not shorted to ground. However, that number 0.567 on backlight rail is a little too high. So this may need a new LED driver. Can you mute for a second? I will mute. Okay, so there's no light on the screen. No light on the screen. So let's see what voltage we get on backlight. Is it 8 or 0? I'm guessing it's 8. Okay, so it's 8. So it just means that it's not boosting. Now the LED driver area did look disgusting. So let's take a look and make some measurements here. So originally backlight enable resistors look disgusting. So I'm going to measure backlight enable right now. Backlight enable is 2.8 volts. So it's getting the enable signal that it needs to turn on, and there's no voltage drop along the way, which means that the LED driver itself is probably the problem. So let's go ahead and replace that and see if this works, which is going to be a real shame because I put it through the cleaner. I already cleaned it. Now I'm going to have to clean it again. Rah! Okay, so the hint that there was an issue is that when I measured output of backlight on diode mode to ground, so I put the red probe on ground, the black probe on backlight output, when I measured that, I got 0.567. Now usually when it's below 0.511 and 0.546, when it's below that range, the feedback via is blown. So let's go over what I'm talking about here. Let's open a schematic. Let's open a schematic. Terrible. Okay, open a schematic. Where is my schematic page? Here we go, schematic. All right, so this is switch. So what this thing is going to do, right after this inductor, it's going to switch it to ground. And what this does is it makes the inductor rage. And when the inductor rages, it shoots out more voltage. If you want a more proper definition of that, feel free to read on how a DC to DC boost circuit works. But when you short the voltage after the inductor to ground, it makes the inductor angry. So what this does is it consistently shorts to ground and makes the inductor rage, and then the inductor rage punches out 27 volts of backlight from the starting voltage of 8. When the diode mode measurement to ground, when I put the red probe on ground and the black probe of the multimeter on here, when I get higher than 0.546, that usually means that this switch trace is broken. When I get lower than 0.511, it usually means that this feedback line is broken. And that's something that you get from experience. So you measure, then you figure out what's broken, and then you write it down so you know for the next time. I saw, mister, I saw. I made note. It was bound to happen someday. Alex Jones is on JRE right now. What are you talking about? What is... Oh, Joe Rogan. I thought you meant Jerry Rig Everything. I was about to say, what the hell do those two have in common? And, okay, so the switch balls are these two over here, right? And look at what they look like. Look at how fucked up they look. You see that? See how the other solder balls look normal? Check it out. So see, all these solder balls look normal, but these two over here are squishy garbage. Those are the ones that are for the switch trace, which means that I was correct. That was what was blown. And the way you figure this stuff out is just by measuring a good board, measure a bad board, and when you figure out the flaw, then you know what that measurement means. It's magic. This is the wrong tip to be doing this, but in the time it takes to change the tip, I'll just get the job done with the annoying tip. Yep, I know what you're talking about. I sure do. Yep. Yep. I'm aware. Yep. Okay. So, new LED driver time. And I forgot the orientation of the chip. Fuck. Not sure you know. It's the same as on an 820-3115. So like this. There we go. Yep. Yep, I know. Alright, now we try plugging it in, and we'll see what we get. If this gives me a light, then I'll be set. Yeah, we have a very kind salesman. We have a kind GTFO. It's kind. It's as nice as it gets. It's the opposite of me. And what do you know? We get a light on the screen. Well, you see, a light. So there you go. The ultrasonic turned a board that I could not fix after 45 minutes into a board that works just fine. So if that isn't enough to tell you that the Crest is worth getting, then I don't know what is. And it is true. I get trolled here all the time for it. I know my place. I know that the ultrasonic fixes more than me. I know that if I piss everybody off here at any given time, that they'll just replace me with a fucking ultrasonic cleaner. And there's nothing I'll be able to do about it. So there you go. That is my demonstration of before and after. And I'm surprised it worked. With my luck, I was not expecting that to work at all. So that's it for today. And as always, my cock and I hoped that you learned something.